Right, the American Idol. You remember, Candace Glover won American Idol. You can win tickets to see her and all of her buddies today on the show. Dr. Larry Stroud is with us. He is the mini dental implant rock star. He'll be taking your calls. If you don't love your smile, you're going to love talking to this gentleman. And Dr. Eli Karam, who is a licensed marriage and family therapist. In fact, he is the president of the Kentuckiana Association of Marriage and Family Therapists, KAMFT. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
I got it. I think I got it.
That's good, John.
I'm trying my best. And real quickly, just a quick overview. Doc, tell what kind of issues do you handle? It's much more than just marriage counseling.
Yeah, it's a way of looking at people and their issues. So marriage and family therapists are going to look for people in all their interpersonal context. And they're going to see people with strength and health. So even if you have an issue, they're not going to see you as a problem or deficient or pathologize you. It's going to help you in all your important relationships, whether that be with the family that you grew up in, what we call your family of origin, or whether that be your relationship, whether married or not, extended family, going to help you. Also kind of exiting and entering different relationships. So even if you're not partnered, you can still see a marriage and family therapist.
All right, for more information, go to kamft.org. We'll throw that up on the screen for you. And also, if you're looking for a therapist, I recommend this site, therapistlocator.net. You can find out which therapist fits you. You're more than welcome to check out that site. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Let's get down to business. Yeah. We have a letter today. This came courtesy of, I think it came courtesy of the kamft.org site.
Yeah, it came, and you can get us there at kmft@twc.com, and we use all of those letters to answer on the show here every Thursday.
Yes, we do, and here we go. My fiancé and I recently moved in together. I was aware of his ADD diagnosis from the beginning of our relationship, but it really didn't bother me at first, as I saw him as a very creative and passionate man. Now that I'm living with him, I'm at my wit's end. He is a slob, and he complains when I try to clean up what he calls his sacred space. He starts many different projects at once around the house without fully completing any of them. He uses his ADD as an excuse for everything, including cutting me off mid-sentence when I'm trying to communicate my frustrations to him. Please help, Charlotte. This letter sounds like she truly is at her wit's end.
Yeah. Now, Charlotte, thank you for sending that in. And often, we talk about an issue or a disorder from the person that has its perspective, but it also, marriage and family therapists look how an issue is going to infect the whole family, in this case, your fiance. So being the partner of someone with ADD, which is short for attention deficit disorder, sometimes also referred to different attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, that's ADHD, a similar phenomenon in the sense that probably about 4 to 10%, depending on the prevalence statistics when you look at it, of school-age children are diagnosed with this, so it's very common, up to 1 in 10. And about 60% of those kids never grow out of it, and they have what we call adult ADHD, which is more common, you'll see in writing and on TV in the recent years. So let's talk about some tips today, looking at your email. And if you are a partner of someone with ADD or ADHD at home, what can you do to cope? All right, well, the first one is you need to make lists for your partner instead of immediate demands. The ADHD mind kind of works in their own idiosyncratic structure. So what might seem logical to you, or let's get this done now, the ADHD brain doesn't work that way. So someone, if they have a list, so you give your partner a list at the beginning of the week with all the things they need to do, and you say by Friday, and it's Sunday or Monday, you give them the list, it gives them 4 days with their own structure and their own work pattern to get it done. And it helps two ways. It gives you knowing that your partner's going to help out without you having to come in and do everything, which you probably like. It also gives your partner the ability to feel like they can do it in their own time frame without being micromanaged by their partner. So that's tip number one. Don't make any immediate demands. Give a list and let them work it in their own time structure. Two kind of goes along with that in the sense of learning your partner's internal order, meaning you might connect the dots in a logical 1, 2, 3, ABC type of way. ADD mind doesn't necessarily do that. They have a particular kind of idiosyncratic way of working. So it might make perfect sense to them, but really seem scattered to you. So you want to, in a kind of curious instead of defensive or judgmental way, learn your partner's internal order. Well, why do they organize things like this? Or why do they attack things in this particular manner or style? So be curious, non-defensive. 3 is really a sense of encouraging your partner to get extra support. And what I mean by that is ADHD is very workable in the sense that it's treated with ADHD medicines, which are generally stimulants. Popular ones are Ritalin, Adderall, Vyvanse. And these where it would speed up the average person that does not have ADD. It works paradoxically with someone that does, meaning it actually slows them down, alerts them, makes them able to tune in to what's going on instead of getting distracted by multiple stimuli. So you definitely want to have a medical consult, either by a psychiatrist that specializes in ADD, or your family doc can set that up. And that going along, there is no magic pill, but that going along with some type of behavior modification program that your marriage and family therapist can help you with, and especially a marriage and family therapist can help you with how that person's ADD is going to impact the family or the parenting or any other thing you would work with them as a partner. So that's very important to have extra supports. Now, a fourth step is sometimes partners really get shut down. ADD people are external processors, meaning they say it, they have a thought, they kind of get it out. And if you don't understand that about your partner, if you're trying to talk and communicate, it can be very frustrating because you feel like you're cut off mid-sentence. It makes you feel shut down, unimportant if you're that partner. So to kind of work with your partner and for you not to shut down and to realize your partner needs to kind of learn different strategies, especially when they have a thought, so as to not to cut you off. But if you just shut down and get hurt and wounded right away, it's going to be frustrating for both partners because there's generally the ADD partner, that's the opposite they want to do. They just want to convey, get the thought out. They don't intentionally want to cut you off or shut you down. And then really the fifth tip is to give your partner their own dedicated space in the house. So maybe you have an office area, maybe you have a little nook or something that the ADHD person can arrange in however they want. It's not going to get messed up because many people, you want your house in a certain order, a certain organization. It makes sense to you. It might make sense to all your other non-ADHD friends or family members. But for the ADD person, they have their own idiosyncratic, as I said, way of working, their own space. So even it's usually, I call it kind of organized chaos in the sense that it might not look like it fits to you, but it's actually a space that your partner needs, John, and that really makes sense. So, lots of people deal with this, lots of couples, and a marriage and family therapist is somebody who can help you not only understand the individual piece of the plan, but also the couple and the family piece.
Doctor, I would imagine a lot of this is ringing true with our audience. A lot of us have a measure of attention deficit. Do you recommend that couple come in together? Do they come in separately, or is it individual case-by-case basis?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, good question, John, is how do you approach a marriage and family therapist if you have this issue? Well, it could be that you start out together as a couple, which is always good for the therapist to be able to meet you both. And then if you kind of understand that the issue is really around the ADHD, you could work individually with that ADHD person, the therapist could, and then when they've gotten a game plan down, you bring the spouse back in and you work on the couple or the family piece. So it could be a combination of kind of individual and couple sessions. And again, you want to, when you go to that therapist locator, you want to ask the MFT, the marriage and family therapist, what their experience is working with ADHD, and just like you asked me, John, how would you go about treating that?
All right, this brief conversation I think has helped a lot of folks. There's a website you should check out for more information, kamft.org. And don't forget, if you're looking for a therapist with any issue you have with your spouse, with a family member, maybe you have a blended family, whatever the case may be, therapistlocator.net. Dr. Eli Karam, known to us as Dr. Eli. Doctor, thank you very much.
All right, my friend.
Good stuff. All right, coming up, we've got the mini dental implant rock star. Dr. Larry Stroud is with us. If you're not happy with your smile, you're going to be happy to see this guy. Also, American Idol tickets coming up. We're going to give them away right here on Wave 3 Listens.